Vegas used to be so overcrowded, you could barely see the sidewalk. But now, it's been reduced to a ghost town. As everybody is pointing out,
June of 2025, the visitor numbers have plunged by over 7% compared to the first 6 months of last year.
I came in yesterday, and the airport was surprisingly empty, which was...
Where's everyone at?
In 2025 alone, the number of visitors reduced by 1 million, and hotel occupancy dropped 5.5% in May, 15% in June, and another 17% in July. While casino CEOs say that the city is still thriving, the empty strip tells a different story. Get ready to hear why you are being kicked out of Vegas. It's all on purpose. Recent numbers are showing a strange truth about what's really happening in Las Vegas right now. At first glance, the stats look bad. In August 2025, tourist arrivals dropped by 6.7% compared to last year. That's around 230,000 fewer visitors. It also marked the 8th month in a row that visitor numbers have gone down. Hotel occupancy on the Strip fell to just 77.5%, and passenger traffic at Harry Reid International Airport dropped 8.5%. But it gets weird, because while fewer people are coming to Vegas, the casinos are actually making more money. In August 2025, casinos on the Strip made around $679 million, which is 5.5% higher than the same month last year, with baccarat and mobile betting powering the Strip's results. July was even stronger, with revenues jumping 5.6% to more than $749 million. According to the Nevada Independent, gaming revenue on the Las Vegas Strip rose 5.6% year over year, even though the total number of visitors across Nevada fell for the 7th straight month. This strange contradiction isn't random. It shows that Vegas casino corporations are following a very deliberate plan to push out the middle class and focus only on the few high rollers. As casino consultant Oliver Lovett explained, modern resorts are now willing to operate with lower occupancy as long as the right people are in the building. To make this happen, casinos have been quietly using a range of tactics to filter their customers. Resort fees, often hidden in fine print, now run between $45 and $52 per night at top hotels. And that doesn't include the 13.38% room tax. On top of that, table games that once welcomed casual players have become luxury-only spaces. The old 3-2 blackjack tables now require a $25 to $50 minimum bet, and during busy hours, it can go up to $100. Even the slot machines have been adjusted to give the house a bigger edge. Data from the Nevada Gaming Control Board shows that the average slot hold, how much casinos keep from every dollar played, is now 7.2% statewide, 8.23% on the Strip, and up to 8.47% downtown. And yet, it gets even worse for the common man, because get ready for the next conditions, and you'll know why he has no chance in the new Vegas. Loyalty programs once meant to reward regular visitors have also changed. To reach premium tiers with perks like free stays or waived resort fees, players now have to spend more money, far beyond what most visitors can afford. This new strategy might boost short-term profits, but it's risky, and even the executives know it. Caesars Entertainment CEO Tom Reeg admitted during an earnings call that Vegas began leaking as a market in June 2025 and warned that the third quarter would likely stay weak. Since these CEOs already understand the risk of chasing high rollers and excluding the middle class, why do they seem so motivated to go on with the plan? Well, it all began with a multi-billion-dollar mistake back in the 90s. But before we continue, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel to stay informed about all the news from Vegas, learning from past mistakes. To really understand why today's Las Vegas CEOs are so focused on chasing only ultra-rich customers, you have to look back at a time when the city made one of its biggest mistakes, a mistake that cost billions of dollars. In the early 1990s, Vegas tried to change its image completely. The city wanted to become a family-friendly destination, a place where parents could bring their kids instead of just gamblers looking for fun. For this reason, huge resorts were built to fit that dream, including Treasure Island with its pirate battles and the MGM Grand with its Wizard of Oz theme. But it didn't work. Even Steve Wynn, the man often called the creator of modern Vegas, later admitted the truth that turning Treasure Island into a family attraction was one of the biggest mistakes in the city's history. The problem was simple. Kids don't gamble, and parents who travel with kids spend far less on gaming. And it's understandable, since even you wouldn't want your kid to one day tell you that he learned gambling from you after he's gambled away his mortgage and his wife and kids are now homeless. Since it was meant to be family-friendly, the MGM Grand Adventures theme park, which cost over $100 million to build, lost money from the very first day it opened. Even Alan Feldman, former senior vice president at MGM Grand, later called that era a historical misstep and a fleeting experiment, adding that this was not the business model that made Las Vegas strong. As he put it clearly, Las Vegas was, is, and always will be a place for adults. That failed experiment taught Vegas executives a lesson they would never forget, and that chasing an audience that doesn't match your core product is a recipe for disaster. Supporting Feldman's claims, Amanda Bellarmino, associate professor at UNLV, described it as a clearly documented case of a poorly calculated strategy, adding that their core appeal is attracting adult consumers. For this reason, the city did a complete turnaround, because get ready for these next steps that began stripping all forms of innocence from the Strip. In 1998, Steve Wynn opened the Bellagio, a luxury resort built entirely for wealthy adults. Looking back, Wynn explained his vision perfectly, saying that every hotel he has built has a soul, and that soul has no place for children. Then, in 2003, Vegas launched its now famous slogan, "What happens here, stays here." As the Las Vegas Sun noted, that campaign completely redefined the city's image, leaving behind the family experiment and embracing its true identity as an adult playground built on freedom, indulgence, and escape. That image still drives Vegas today, as the city's leaders believe survival doesn't come from how many people visit, but from how much each one spends. And they are not taking any chances with this, because watch what happens when Vegas decides to only deal with the super rich. The new Vegas. Las Vegas hasn't just gone back to being an adults-only city. It has taken that idea and turned it into something far more exclusive. And what better new foundation of this strategy than professional sports? Massive investments like Allegiant Stadium, Formula One, and the planned $1.5 billion baseball stadium are all part of a bigger plan to bring in a steady flow of visitors who aren't just coming to gamble, but who arrive with a purpose and with deep wallets. Such events attract high-end tourists, corporate sponsors, and wealthy fans ready to spend big. But this model comes with a serious cost, not just for tourists, but for the local people who built this city from the ground up. The gap between the glamorous Strip and the local neighborhoods is growing wider every year. On top of that, the same residents whose taxes and hard work support Vegas's booming tourism industry are being priced out of the very city they helped create. With over 70% of Clark County's budget depending on taxes from tourism, locals now find themselves shut out of the Strip, where $30 cocktails and $40 parking fees have made even a night out feel unreachable. The result is a city that feels divided. One side shines with luxury, the other is struggling to keep up. For many workers in hospitality, life is getting harder. The Las Vegas Review-Journal reported that the cost of living in southern Nevada has exploded, especially housing and food. Since 2021, rent prices have jumped by over 22%, and basic groceries have risen by 25%, while wages and tips haven't kept up. It's a painful cycle where the very people who make Las Vegas feel alive can no longer afford to enjoy it. Even those within the industry are beginning to speak up. Jonathan Jossel, CEO of the Plaza Hotel and Casino, recently warned that maybe Las Vegas has forgotten part of the message, that this isn't just an event city, and people should still be able to come here and have a great time at a great value. His words reflect a growing concern that Vegas is becoming a playground for the few instead of a destination for everyone. With all this going on, the city now faces a defining choice: keep moving toward exclusivity and higher prices, or restore some balance to welcome back the middle class that made it famous. In the end, Vegas isn't losing visitors because it's failing. It's transforming into something new, more specialized, and far more selective. As one recent analysis put it, the story of Vegas isn't over. It's just entering its most fascinating chapter yet. That line captures the truth as Vegas is changing in a way that mirrors a much bigger shift happening across America. Industries everywhere are torn between serving the many or maximizing profits from the few. How Vegas handles this transformation may shape not just its own future, but the future of the U.S. entertainment economy itself. Yet, as people complain about Vegas getting more expensive, some are taking this to their advantage, offering the same services as the Strip, but this time for way less money. So if you want to have a good gambling experience and feel welcomed, now is the time to pay attention. The competition. As Las Vegas raises prices to chase billionaire visitors, other places are quietly attracting the crowd it left behind. Budget travelers haven't vanished. They've just found better deals. Across Nevada, small desert towns are reviving old resorts with $99 rooms, free breakfasts, and no resort fees. Meanwhile, Atlantic City is stepping up as the affordable alternative, offering lower table limits and free boardwalk entertainment that feels like old Vegas again. Even destinations like Napa Valley and Cabo San Lucas are stepping in, selling all-inclusive luxury weekends for less than what one night in Vegas now costs. Travel agents are noticing the shift too. Some admit that travelers can now fly to Mexico, stay in a beach resort, and spend less than they would on the Strip. As a result, Vegas is losing ground to beach resorts, cruise lines, and even online casinos. Travel influencers, who once made it a trend, are skipping it altogether. Younger travelers see the city as overpriced and overly corporate, stripped of the charm that made it exciting in the first place. But hey, if Vegas doesn't suit your wallet, at least you have another place that offers the same value for a cheaper price. So, do you think that the new Vegas will have the same energy as the old? Leave your thoughts in the comment section, and click here to check out another video, and make sure to subscribe to my channel.